Okay, welcome everyone to Yin Yoga. My name is Tammy and I will be sharing my practice with you for the next hour. Our intention for our class is acknowledge, heal. So we have two intentions for our class for today. Tying together, acknowledging, and healing. In Yin, we learn to let go physically, which helps us to let go emotionally and mentally. Therefore, we become aware of how we're feeling on the inside, what's going on in the inside, no matter if it may be pleasant or painful. We know ourselves that holding anything in, repressing how we're feeling, it really does cause us that damage. So if we can identify with the stressors that maybe that we are feeling, it will help us to acknowledge them, to accept them, to process them, and then to let them go. I want you to think about through our class tonight about your voice, listening to your inner voice, being the teacher. Knowing that you have the healing potential yourself to help yourself work through whatever that you may be feeling. And knowing also that we are here to support each other, really supporting each other and working together, it means so much. We'll begin in the pose of butterfly, turning on to your bottom, placing both of your feet together. Now in Yin, we use always those supports that we have, the props around us too, like pillows. So placing them underneath of your knees. Having this support for our physical body will help us to release emotions, clear the mind. Helping to us to clear the mind helps us to for clarity of the mind. So feeling your supports, place both of your feet together and then open up your feet like a book. Relax your shoulders with a nice big inhale breath. Exhale breath, let yourself go, knowing that there is no wrong or right in butterfly. Letting yourself bow, thanking yourself with the bow of all the wonderful qualities that you possess. Letting the exhale breath be longer than the inhale breath. Your head hangs down. And coming back to what I said at the beginning, in Yin we learn how to let go physically, moving through the postures that we work through, knowing how you do learn to let go physically, but then checking in how your mind is, how you're feeling. By holding these poses for longer periods of time, it really does help us to do that. Holding butterfly for another minute. in butterfly for another 30 seconds now. Coming out of butterfly for the last 15 seconds. So nice and slow. Making your way out. Let's take a moment here. And then bring both of the knees together. Remove your props. Just place them to the side here. Into cattail for our next pose. Coming over to the side of the body. The top leg goes in front. The bottom leg goes behind. With your arm that's on the top, hold on to the ankle that is behind. You may also just place it onto the side of the body. Your head may be supported here, or the arm is in front. This will help you to open up through the chest a little bit more. And knowing again, there's no right or wrong. Encourage opening into the body. Close your eyes. Let yourself settle now. Opening up your heart, your body towards the sky. Letting yourself enjoy this twist. Remaining in cattail for another minute. If you need to reset, please do so. Another 30 seconds here. Slowly coming out of cattail, rolling over to the side. You may roll over to your other side. I'm just going to roll over to my other side so that you can see me on the camera. Up and over. Okay, setting yourself up with the top leg in front, bottom leg behind. Now you may be here, or arm is forward, and then take your top arm and hold onto the ankle of the bottom leg. Open up your body towards the sky. If you're not holding on to your ankle, it is okay. sensing what your body needs. You are the teacher tonight. Another minute in cattail. Thirty more seconds. Gently releasing and coming out of this pose. And then coming up to caterpillar. Turning our legs to the front. A little shift through the body here. Remove the fleshy part from your bottom. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath. Fold forward. Again, you may use supports. So I'm going to use my bolster here, so you may want to do the same. Use your cushion. You may also have a rolled up blanket underneath of your knees or a rolled up towel just underneath your knees for support. So let's set ourselves up here first. And then inhale, breath again. Exhale, breath. Fold forward. If you are using a bolster or pillow here, you may turn your cheek and let your cheek rest. You can increase the level by placing your hands on top or use another cushion on top of this lovely cushion here for more support. Another minute in caterpillar. Thirty more seconds. Slowly coming out of caterpillar. Remove any of the props, sending them to the sides. Take your hands behind and then do a little windshield wiper through the legs, knees side to side. Feet are wider than the hips. And then release. Come into child's pose. So take your knees back. Support for child's pose, you may use your hands. So just sitting back into the heels. Your forehead comes down to the ground. Arms may be forward or by the sides. Child's pose does not work for your knees, so it's not accessible for your knees. You may roll over to the side of the body and tuck your knees in. You may come onto your back and tuck your knees into the chest. Two more minutes in child's pose. Forty-five more seconds. Now slowly coming out of child's pose to all fours. Take your toes back down towards the ground. Step forward with the right hand and left hand, just one step here. Come into downward facing dog. Alternate knee bends. And then just hold still. Take the right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog, and then step your foot onto the outside of the right foot. Right wrist, sorry. Step the right foot onto the outside of the right wrist for dragon. Your knee is up or the knee is down towards the ground. You may have your hands down towards the ground, gently gripping the mat with your finger pads to take the pressure off of the wrist. Forearms may also come down to the ground. And bowing your head. We're now starting to let our physical body start to settle in these poses and starting to let go. Starting to check in with how you're feeling again. Acknowledging your thoughts. In dragon for another minute. Thirty more seconds. Coming out of dragon, you may come to all fours or child's pose, or come with me to downward facing dog. And then three-legged dog, so lift the left leg up towards the sky, and then step onto the outside of the left wrist. Leg is straight or the knee is bent down towards the ground. You may remain here with finger pads, just lightly gripping the mat to take the pressure off the wrist, or forearms may come down to the ground. Feel that opening up into the left side, outside of the hip. Letting the head bow. Exhale breath longer than the inhale breath to help you work through the process of letting go of that tightness, that tension that you may be feeling. Another minute in dragon. Another 30 seconds. Slowly come out of dragon. You may come to downward facing dog. And then come to all fours. And then back into child's pose for a minute. Arms forward or by the sides of the body, forehead rests. Slowly come out of child's pose. All fours, and then come onto the side of the body for dragonfly. Dragonfly, opening up your legs into a V. Opening up those legs to the point where it's comfortable for you. And I'm going to use my bolster again. So before we fold forward, if you want to use a cushion, tuck it into the inside of your inner thighs, into your groin. You do not have to use a cushion if you don't want to. Think about that support for the physical body to help to let it go, which will then make it easier for you to let go emotionally and mentally. Nice inhale breath. Exhale breath, folding forward. If you had your left or right cheek resting on your bolster before, then turn it to the opposite cheek. So then the other cheek will be resting. Another minute. 30 more seconds. Slowly making your way out of the forward fold here, dragonfly. Bending through both of those knees. And then you can take your prop away, set it to the side, and then get a little pillow and just set it on the side here. Okay, square pose is our next pose. Your right knee stacked on top of your left ankle, right ankle on top of the left knee. I like to have a prop underneath my right knee. So here's square pose. Square pose may also look like this, with your left leg straight and your right ankle crossed over the top. You still may have that support of the cushion. You may hold onto the right ankle, so just placing your hand underneath. You can also do figure four on your back with the ankle crossed over top of the left knee. Keeping our ankles straight so that they don't sickle. Setting yourself up, of course, first, and then being able to find the stillness in our body so we can let ourselves release those tight muscles, let go physically. So the tip of the chin down to the chest, the bow of the head. Noticing your breath. Exhale breath, helping you to release. Inhale breath, breathing into those tight areas. So here, you may be feeling quite a bit of tightness into the right hip. We are definitely stretching into the right side of the hip. So really encourage that breath to help you to release. Another minute. Thirty more seconds. Slowly releasing out of square pose. And then coming into the other side. This time, left leg will go over top of the right leg. So remember, finding what is going to work for you. Sensing what your body needs right now. You may use 1 or 2 cushions for the support of the left knee. And here, finding stillness. So right ankle over top, left ankle over top of the right knee. Keeping the ankle straight. And then let yourself settle into square pose. Noticing if the left side is tighter than the right side or vice versa. One more minute in square. Let yourself settle. Thirty more seconds. Slowly releasing square pose. Take your hands behind, remove that prop. Just to the side, we're going to be using a pillow for our next pose, which is sleeping swan. So coming over to all fours, shift through the body here. Step forward with the right hand, left hand. We'll have the pillow, our prop, on the right side here. So it's going to go underneath your right hip. So just place it there first. And then come into downward facing dog. Three-legged dog. Take the right leg straight up to the air. And then bend through the knee. Turn your right knee out to the right wrist. And then place your prop, your pillow, underneath the right hip for support. Sit down onto that pillow, just onto the side here. You can take your foot just a little bit closer to the front of your mat here. Just finding what's comfortable for you. If this is not accessible for this right knee, if there's any kind of pinching or anything like that, please lie on your back and then come into figure 4 like before that I showed you, with your right ankle crossed over the left knee. Or you can lie on the side of your body too. Okay, then come back up. So your toes are down towards the ground, your hips are square, and then sleeping swan, add the fold forward. You can place a block underneath this right hip. You can have 2 cushions underneath the right hip. So setting yourself up to support your body, forehead rest to let your mind rest. And again, acknowledge how you're feeling. To work through how you're feeling, to becoming aware of how you're feeling from the inside out is a process, and it takes time. And this is why we are here, to help our physical body, to help our mental state, our emotional state, our spiritual state. Five more seconds. Slowly coming out of sleeping swan, you may come to downward facing dog or all fours or child's pose. And then if you are in downward facing dog, come to all fours here first, and then take your cushion or cushions to the other side. And just set it up where you think you're going to be about. And then step forward with the right hand, left hand back into downward facing dog. And then lift your left leg straight up to the sky, and then bend through the knee, and then turn your left knee out to the left wrist. Set yourself up again, take your cushions underneath or block underneath the left hip. I'm going to show you another version of this too, if this is not working for your knee, or if you're not able to come into your back right now. So if you are in swan here, you may come into sleeping swan, if that's going to be working for you. Or the other version would be sitting up and left ankle crosses over the right knee, and then sitting up, lifting the chest up, and then you can let the chin come down towards the chest. It's another option for you. Let's be in sleeping swan for another minute and a half. 30 more seconds. Now slowly make your way out of sleeping swan and then come to all fours. It will shift through the body. You can sit back into your heels and slowly release. Roll over to the side of the body. Okay, here's where I like to use my bolster. If you don't have a bolster, if you have a nice hard cushion, that would be great. You don't need a cushion also. We're gonna tuck I'm gonna do my left side here first, in towards the mat. And then, so tuck the left side of your hip into the mat, to your pillow, I should say, not mat. And then roll over to the side of the body, and your chest is going to come on top of your bolster, and then turn your head, same way as your knees. Your top leg may come behind, and your bottom foot is just on top of the knee. If you would like to add a little bit more twist, you can turn your head and look the opposite way. So nice big twist through our spine, bringing out all the toxins in our body. And let yourself settle. Feel yourself letting go. "45 more seconds. Slowly making your way out this prone twist. You may simply just roll over to the other side. I'm just going to move my bolster to the other side of my mat. And then again, tucking side of the body in towards your mat, again, your cushion, your bolster. And then chest coming down towards your bolster. Arms by the side, turn the head, let the cheek rest. Top leg comes behind, and your bottom foot is just on top of the knee. Letting your heart settle. If you'd like more of a twist, please turn your head in the other direction. Another 45 seconds. Slowly coming out of our twist. And you bring it up. Okay, Shavasana is our final pose. Shavasana may be with your bolster, your pillows on an incline. You could use a block, place it underneath. You can use a wall and bring your legs up the wall. Rely on your back, legs out straight. Maybe in reclined butterfly. You can come to the side of your body. Taking your time to set yourself up. Have a blanket over top of your body. We'll be in Shavasana for a few minutes. So you may find that your body starts to cool down. So having a blanket just close by even. I encourage that. In Shavasana, close your eyes, lips come together, and then they part. Let your body, your physical body, find that stillness, the rest, to help let your mind, your emotions find the rest also. Let yourself start to feel the healing. Starting from the top of your body, working your way down. Letting yourself be surrounded by love and support. Knowing that you are in a good place, surrounded by love from others. I will call you back in a couple minutes. Slowly Starting to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Notice your breath. Noticing the surface you're lying on. Shift through the body. If you're lying on your back, please bend through the knees and take the right arm overhead and then roll over to your right side. Then everyone making your way up to a comfortable seated position. Placing your hands to your heart center. Thank you everyone for sharing your practice with me. I encourage you to continue to practice and join me. Enjoying the rest of your week as we move forward. Enjoying the process of healing. Acknowledging how we're feeling. Namaste.